Introduction. The Middle East is a region which includes most of Western Asia and Africa north of Sahara. Middle East is an ethnocentric which describes lands by their location relative to Europe. The boundaries of Northern Africa and Southwestern Asia is primarily coastlines with a line drawn in the south through the Sahara along the country boundaries. Mountain ranges mark the northern and eastern limits of Turkey and Iran, include Sudan. Northern Africa and Southwestern Asia is one of the most influential and politically contentious world regions. Here are the photos of Southwestern Asia. How does this for a visual of how the Southwestern Asia country will look like. And also in Northern Africa, this is how the countries in Northern Africa stated will look like.
Climate of Northern Africa and Southwest Asia. No other region in the world is pervasively dry as North Africa and Southeast Asia. Landform and climate are very closely related in this region. The typical climate in North African and Southwest Asia is dry and hot in the vast stretches of relatively low, flat land. There is typically a bit moisture when there is a mountain range that capture the moisture and the rainfall. Temperature range of over 55 degrees Celsius in the shade on the sunny day and can drop to below freezing in the night time. In the upland of this region, there is typically enough rainfall to nurture grass, some trees, and limited agriculture. There's three landforms in there. The first one is Atlas Mountains. This mountain range is particularly in northwestern Africa. They stretch all the way from Morocco on the Atlantic to Tunis on the Mediterranean Sea. The second one is the Great Sahara Desert. This desert is found behind the Atlas mountain range to the southeast. The Sahara's size or southerly location make it particularly desert regions. The last one is Arabian Peninsula. The landform of Arabian Peninsula. The precipitation, the reef capture from the moisture-laden monsoon winds crossing Central Africa is the primary source of rain of the entire peninsula.
Environmental problems. So there are three types of environmental problems that are facing in the Southwestern Asia and also the Northern Africa. First is the salinization. Second is oil pollution. Third is desertification. Salinization. As the region's population rapidly grows, new industries and cities are built. Sensitive, arid environments and higher living standards raise the demand for water. Salinization is known as a process of irrigation. Farming in arid areas requires good management to prevent high rates of evaporation from drawing salt to the surface oil, which reduces to destroy crops productivity. Adding too much water lock the soil and concentrates salt at the surface. In ancient irrigation schemes, 60% of the land in the Tigris-Euphrates River lowlands became unusable because of the poor management. For example, the Persian Gulf's salinity in 2010 was 47% higher than it was in 1980. So here's a picture of how the salinization looks like. We move on to second, oil pollution. The oil industry is a major polluter throughout the world, and the concentrations of production and distribution pollute the atmosphere and water of areas around oil wells, surface seepages, and where unwanted gases flood off. Leakages pollute the water near the ocean terminals. Particles in the atmosphere cause fogs that create or worsen respiratory problems. Persian Gulf had lost most of its plant and animal life as a result of pollution since initial oil production began in the early 1900s. So here is a picture of the oil pollution. Next is desertification. Desertification is the conversion of non-desert lands into deserts. It is one of the major environmental issues North Africa or Southwest Asia has. Climate change is the result of desertification. As temperature increases due to global warming, soil moisture decreases due to evaporation. As a result, plants die which can cause no trees vegetated land to form. This is why grasslands, steppes often border deserts. Around 48.6% of the land area in the Mashriq, 28.6% in the Nile Valley and the Horn of Africa, 60.5% in the North Africa, and 9% in the Arabian Peninsula is endangered on account of desertification. Countries that are facing greatest dangers are Libya, Egypt, and Jordan. So here are the pictures of how desertification looks like. So you can see from trees, tints, sand.
History and cultures of Northern Africa and Southwest Asia. The early religions of this region were based on a belief in many gods linked to a natural phenomenon. But several thousand years ago, monotheistic belief system emerged, those based on one god. The three major monotheistic belief system in this region consist of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, which all have their origin in the Eastern Mediterranean. Family. Careful specified gender roles are common in many cultures, and there is often spatial component to these roles. In North Africa and Southwest Asia, the difference between males and female roles are reflected in the organization of space within the home, within the larger society, so price varies widely from the place to place. In both rural and urban society, men and boys go forth in public space like the town square, shops, and the market. Women usually inhabit primarily secluded private space. Such place like courtyard, female space within home, where the only men who were allowed to enter were their family members. For the urban upper class, female space was upstairs, sets of room with lattice work or shutter at the window, from which was possible to look out at street life without being seen. Here's a picture of coriander. Coriander or clean taro are commonly eaten in the Middle Eastern, Mediterranean, Indian, South Asian, Latin American, Chinese, Africans, Southeast Asian, and Mexican food. Coriander seed is used in Indian curries, and after being roasted, is eaten as meat.
Organization. We have three major organizations in this region. First one is Palestine Liberation Organization (PLO). Next, Arab League, and lastly, Organization of Islamic Conference (OIC). Firstly, PLO. It was founded on 1964 during a summit in Cairo, Egypt. It is a political organization providing an umbrella for smaller groups that demands a country in Palestinians. It is also one of group members of Arab League. The United States and Israel considered the PLO as a terrorist organization until Madrid Conference in 1991. Israel officially recognized that the PLO is a representative of Palestinian people. In 1974, it is recognized as a sole legitimate representative of the Palestinian people by over 100 states, which it holds diplomatic relations. Next, Arab League. It was created on 1944 and the official language is Arabic. The purpose of this organization is to encourage the united opposition of Arab countries to the establishment of Israel. At the start, they only have 7 founding members, but now the membership has increased to 22 countries. After Egypt's 1979 accord with Israel, the Arab League expelled Egypt. Next, we have OIC, or Organization of the Islamic Conference. It was set up by the Foreign Minister of Muslim countries in 1970. It has 57 members including Pakistan, Indonesia, and Nigeria. OIC is a collective voice of Muslim world. The main priority is to return Jerusalem to Muslim control as to change the headquarters. The official language of OIC is Arabic, English, and French. The OIC holds a summit every 3 years. though its organ and department hold meeting frequently. Current issue in Northern Africa this year will mark the 60th anniversary of Africa independence. 60 years may be a long time for a certain country, but still, today Africa remains as the poorest and least developed country in the world. Hunger, poverty, terrorism, local ethnic and religious conflict, corruption and bribery, disease outbreak, this was Africa stories until the early 2000s. However, over the past 2 decades, Africa has made remarkable progress and embarked on the brighter future. Africa may still be facing many of those same problems until today, but much has already been gone, and thanks to the technology and globalization, the black continent future seems brighter than ever. Current issues in South Asia. The major issues being discussed here is climate change, geophysical settings, ecosystem changes, overgrazing, import of hazardous waste, deforestation, desertification, pollution pressure, collapse and pollution of land resources, water resources and lack of potable water, biodiversity loss, food security risk, depletion of energy resources, and degradation of river and marine resources. We can see that there is a lot of issues being told in South Asia. Some recommendations have also been provided on the basis of the major environment issues identified and resolve problems. Today, South Asia is doing the best to overcome all these problems.
Sub-regions. The region is divided into 5 sub-regions: North Africa, Israel and Palestine, Nile River Valley, Arab Southwest Asia, Iran and Turkey. But unfortunately in this syllabus, we don't study about Iran and Turkey. So we're going to explain what the 4. So here are the map of North Africa. Here's how North Africa map looks like. Here are the list of countries in North Africa: Morocco with Western Sahara, Algeria, Tunisia and Libya. Here are the maps of the Nile River looks like. So this is the Nile River in the middle. The only countries that are listed in the Nile River Valley is Egypt and also Sudan. And next we have the maps of the Arab Southern Western Asia. Here's the map of Arab Southwestern Asia. But the list of countries, we have a lot of countries inside here. So we have Bahrain, Kuwait, Lebanese, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Iraq, Jordan, Oman, Qatar, UAE and also Syria. The next is the maps of Israel and Palestine. So here's a map of Israel and Palestine. And here's a list of countries that are stated in Palestine and Israel.
Economic activities of Northern Africa and Southwest Asia. Oil. This region contains some of the world's largest known reserves of fossil fuel. They are located mainly around the Persian Gulf. The oil is concentrated mostly in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iran, Iraq, Oman, Qatar and UAE. OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, now include all the oil producing state members cooperate to periodically restrict oil productions, thereby significantly raising the price of oil on world markets. The next one is agriculture. Most of the places in this area are dependent on agriculture and herding. There is 30% or more of the people in the most countries are employed in some sort of agriculture. Although of the employment and effort in agriculture, the market value of the crop and resource are very low. Most people have to depend to their own production in agriculture for their own nutrition and food for their families.